Well, if you're involved in an accident and you have a personal injury claim, the type of medical treatment you receive is critically important. Attorney Richard Griffin is here to explain why it matters. We're talking about medical treatment because a lot of times people are hurt and they can't really get it, can they?
That's right. There's a lot of problems. Probably the most common problems people have is that they make mistakes in the medical treatment area where they don't get the treatment they need. If you're injured, you need to get to the emergency room. If you have an emergency situation, you need to follow up with an urgent care or primary care. And then a lot of people do that, but they may stop there and they're still in pain. They wait, they take a prescription and wait. Well, that is a gap in care that an adjuster is going to really seize on, and that can be a big problem. Another thing people do sometimes is that they they're afraid about the cost and they just don't get it. And so it may be that they have a herniated disc or a facet syndrome or a neck or back injury or a post-traumatic concussion or some other situation that doesn't go diagnosed. If it isn't diagnosed and isn't documented, then I can't get the recovery that they need and they can't get the treatment they need to get better.
So a lot of people actually forego treatment thinking that's better for them,
they do.
But it ends up being worse when they have a case and a claim, correct?
It is, and I can't tell you how often people will call and say, hey, it's been 6 months, I'm not better, and I haven't had any treatment in 30 days or 60 days, and I tell them, I said, well, we need to use health insurance because that gap in care is going to be a problem. Sometimes they've even waited 6 months, and then it's going to be very, very difficult to have that included, even though it probably is and should be. 6 months is a long time for a jury to believe, and defense attorneys are going to use everything as an argument that the person really wasn't hurt, or if they were hurt, it had nothing to do with that motor vehicle accident.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to contact you if somebody is hurt, because you can tell them right away, go get that medical care you need. You actually need that in order to have your case move forward, correct?
That's right. That's right. And a lot of times people don't realize that there are a lot of options for getting the medical treatment paid for other than having to pay out of your pocket. You can use your health insurance, which we can help you utilize that. You can utilize your med pay, which is on your automobile insurance. You can also utilize doctor liens if you have a personal injury case and we're involved, where the doctor will treat and you can get paid at the end, or they'll get paid out of the settlement. And then the last one would be medical funding, where people can get even surgeries or expensive pain management injections and things that they would think are out of reach, but they desperately need. Well, if their personal injury case, if there's good policy limits, then, and we're involved, we can get those surgeries and pain management done, even if they don't have health insurance.
And we have a testimonial today,
we
right?
Do.
From one of your clients that you helped. Let's hear what he had to say.
When I actually went to the urgent care facility, I felt like it was something where they were just trying to put a Band-Aid on the issue. I had a couple of x-rays done. They just gave me some painkillers when they didn't find anything. And I wasn't sure at the end of the day what was really going on with my injuries. When I went to the Griffin law firm, they referred me to a chiropractor, and the chiropractor referred me to an orthopedic, who ultimately got me an MRI. And the MRI was the thing that actually helped me get to the bottom of the issue with my injury. And at the end of the day, it really was the Griffin law firm's help with all of that. And that's why I ended up finding out what was really going on.
And she probably would have never gotten all the help she needed if she didn't contact you guys, right?
That's right. That's right. If she'd stopped with just the urgent care, she wouldn't have found out that she had that herniated disc. Knowing that meant that she could get the specialized treatment that she needed, and it probably made her case worth about 5 times more, because a herniated disc is what the MRI found. And that's a test that sometimes people say, I'm not going to have because it's too expensive, but having it made all the difference in her case.
All the difference in that case, and I'm sure in many out there as well. Tell me, how can you maximize different settlements for your clients?
Well, there are a lot of ways, and it's important to have an attorney that's willing to utilize all those. First of all, making sure that you get the treatment you need regardless of whether you have health insurance or not. Another would be that after you get all that treatment, we've got to maximize that settlement. We have to fight hard to get the best possible settlement for our client. Then we need to make that money go as far as we can. And there's a lot of times where people have called me up and they said, hey, I had an attorney and it was a bad experience. There was a lot of money that came in, but nothing ended up with me. And that's something that we just don't let happen. We'll negotiate down the medical bills, and a lot of times those are very negotiable. And then also, if we're not having to litigate, if it's one we need to make the best out of a situation, then we're going to negotiate our own fee to make sure that we give a reduction. We don't want our clients to ever come up with the short end of the stick. So making sure that they net as much as possible is very important for all concerned.
Yeah, definitely. So call him right now. If you have any questions, he'll help you through it. To get the help you need, just contact the Griffin Law Firm. You can call them at 877-PAIN-LAW. If you'd rather go online, you can do that too. Just log on to 877painlaw.com. This